Hello friends, welcome back to my video channel for VBA tutorials. Let's jump into the lesson number 3. Today we'll learn about message box in detail. If you have gone through my previous videos, you would have seen that we have used command message box to show some text as in pop-up. Let me show you it again. So let's go to the sheet first script. There was a button we created, hello world. Once we click, a pop-up comes up, shows a world text, hello world, I'm learning VBA scripting, and there is a button. Once you click OK, the pop-up closes. You'll be wondering, does this command message box only show the text and with the OK button, or there's something more? Yes, there is something more. However, till now I have not used all the parameters of the message box. Today we'll learn about more parameters and their possible values. So the message box function displays a message box and waits for the user to click a button. Then an action is performed based on the button clicked by the user. The later part, the action performed based on the button clicked by user, not yet used in my previous videos. We will be looking into that today. So let's go to the sheet message box which I have created newly for this. To this tutorial, we'll go to developer option, go to insert, click on the button, create a button, give it some name, maybe something, click on new, it creates a new module with subroutine message box click. Before we go into details, let us cover one more small topic that is called comments in VBA. Like any other coding language, adding comments always helps in if someone is going to look into your code and try to understand. So comments in VBA are done in two ways. First is using single quotes like this. This module is created by some guy XYZ, and it turns into green. Means it is a comment. Similarly, you can use a keyword called rem, rem, and say this module was created on this date, and as you press enter, this also turns into green. So both of these are comments. That's all about comments in VBA. You can use it anywhere, wherever you want. So let's go ahead with the message box. When you type the command msg box, here it shows up the declaration of the message box, which says it can accept these many parameters. So it has prompt, then button, title, help file, context, and it returns a value. So first thing is prompt. So we say this is the this is the prompt. Then we go back to our button 4. Let's rename this also. Let's edit text. Say this is message box. So we gave it a name, click, and it shows the pop-up window with the text. This is prompt. Okay. So as we said, first is the prompt and next one is the button. So the next one gives you the type of buttons we want to use. So it is not only the buttons, it even gives you the kind of icon you want to use with the message box, or it is like it describes the style of the icon actually, and then you want to decide which of the buttons which is being shown, you want to make it as a default button or in what kind of model you want to use. like application model or system model. We will learn about it later. So there are already some drop down menu which gives an option, gives some option. However, we'll just go ahead with numbers. So it starts with 0. 0 means it will show only display OK button, which is a by default parameter always getting passed. So even if you give 0, it comes exactly same as without giving 0. Now if we give 1 here, so it will show OK and cancel button. Let's click, and now you see here is OK and a cancel button. You can click anyone. Similarly, we have 2 is for abort, retry and ignore button. So when you click, the prompt come up with abort, retry and ignore button. You can click on anything as of now because we are not taking any action based on those buttons, so not a problem. You can press on. Now you can change 3. It shows yes, no, cancel. So you can see here yes, no, cancel. Then 4 is only for yes and no. Based on your requirement, you can decide which button you want. 5 is for retry and cancel option. Then let's try 5. You see retry and cancel option. So these are the 5 values which shows what all button you want to display, type of buttons you want to display. Next is on the kind of message icon. Let's suppose there is a value 16. So it has 16, 32, 48 and 64. Here you could see a critical message icon is added ahead of the prompt or the message. Then next is 32, a question mark. Similarly, 48 shows a warning message icon and 64 is for display. So it's nothing that you have to remember the numbers. You can use the drop down option which was showing earlier, and it's very simple. It's just a binary number. It's like 0 1 or 0 0 1 0, something like this. So that's how the number 16, 32, 48 and 64 is incrementing, because bit by bit it is shifted towards the left side. And next one was on selecting the default button. So let's suppose if you type 256, which means second button is the default button. So let's go here, run it, but you see there is only one OK button. There is no two buttons. The reason is 256 is the bit position for second button as a default, whereas the bit position for OK and cancel button or some three buttons we have not yet activated. So what we have to do, 256 plus 1, 257 if you want to use two buttons like OK and cancel, or maybe two. So let's put 258 this time. We'll see three buttons: abort, retry and ignore. Click on this and you can see retry is highlighted. So once you click here and just try to move it, so here you can see this is active, highlighted. Again you click, see retry is highlighted. So similarly you can put 512 for third button to be default, 768 for fourth button to be default. So these are the values. And apart from this we have two more options. One is again zero. If you put zero, has a multiple options. It's like default button is 1, plus it says application model, and it says only OK button. Application model means the current application will not work until the user responds to the message. So if you run it, now you try to click anywhere, nothing works. But if you put 4096, which means all application will not work until user responds to the message. So this becomes again pop-up message and you cannot do anything. So based on these values, you can divide them into four parts. First is 0 to 5. Okay, let's put a comment so that it doesn't throw error. 0 to 5, which says button type. Then you have 16, 32, 48, 64, which says style of the icon. Then you have 0, 256, 512, and 768 for setting default button. Then you have finally the fourth one is 0 and 4096 for defining the model, whether it's application model or the system model. So this is about the uh, second parameter, which is called buttons, and then we have another parameter which is called the return value. So what we can do, we can put a variable dim a as integer, maybe. Yep, you put a equal to this, but you have to remember that you have to put a parenthesis here, otherwise it will throw error. And then we will use 2, put this, and we go to here, click on the message box. It shows abort, retry, ignore, but once you click, nothing happens because we are not told what we have to do with a. So let's again create one more message box, and I will say this is the oh, maybe I will say value of a is give a space where you want to print, and to concatenate here we put ampersand and say a. Now if I go to the window here, click on the message box, shows about, retry, ignore. If I say about, value of a is 3. So the return value has options 0 for OK, sorry, not 0, actually it's 1 for OK. So just to learn that, we will go to, let's remove this comment, remove this comma, and run it. Once you click on OK, it shows value as 1. Then we will say 2, sorry, 1. So we have OK and cancel. Once you click on cancel, value of a is 2. We'll put 2 here. Run again. Abort is 3. Okay, abort is 3. Retry is 4. Ignore is 5. And then we had yes and no. So what was the value for yes and no? Yes and no, as I remember, yeah, it was 4. Because 3 was for yes, no, and cancel, I think. Let's try it. Let's check it. So 4 is here. Yep. So when you click yes, it's 6. When you click no, it's 7. So totally 7 values are there, which it can return right now. And that's all about the message box. Additionally, maybe um, one more thing which can we look into. Let's suppose we want to put everything into a, okay, since I removed equal to and that variable, we should remove this parenthesis. It is not required right now. We can remove this line as well. Hmm. So yep, we are here. So other thing which I wanted to show is about the prompt. Let's suppose we want to show things in the multiple lines. So we have some characters here. We say VB, CR. This is for carriage return. Don't forget to add spaces between these, otherwise it will throw error. So carriage return, and then I say this is second line, and the other option is to give second line to the next line is VBLF, which is for line feed, and this is, we say this is third line. We click here and we go to this window and click here. You see, this is the prompt, this is the second line, this is the third line, and when you click OK, pop-up is gone. Instead of carriage return, there is another option also to do the same thing. When you want to write, you can write character value 13, and it does the same thing as a carriage return. So I go here, I click, still the same. Similarly for line feed also, you'll be thinking there's something else. Yeah, we have character value of 10. Let's close all parentheses. So yep, there's no error. Click here and pretty same. No difference at all. Not pretty same, it's exactly same. In some cases, what we want is we want everything to be in single line, but sometimes we want to put the things here in this next line. So what we do, we add underscore at the end, go to the next line, put ampersand, and add the character and say this is still second line. So you see, I have put the text here, I have put underscore at the end saying that still continuing, it's not ending here. Then in the next line I have put ampersand, and again in the quotes I have added, oh, mistake, this is still first line. So again I have put the text here, and when I go back here, click, see, this is the prompt, this is still first line. So that's all about the message box. We will come back and learn more. See you again. Bye bye.